coming to look at some questions on D and F blocks. This type of questions now we consider have more than one correct option. Reduction of the metal center in aqueous permanganate ion involves 1 electron in neutral medium to give K2MnO4, 5 electrons in neutral medium, 3 electrons in alkaline medium, 5 electrons in acidic medium. These are the given options. If you know, if it is generating green color potassium manganate, KMnO4 actually gains only 1 electron. Option A is right. 5 electrons in neutral medium is impossible. 3 electrons in alkaline medium, it gains to give black MnO2, so C is right. 5 electrons in acidic medium to give Mn plus 2 ions is also true. Therefore, for 160 question, option A, C, D are correct. Similarly, we look at next question. The transition metals which do not form amalgam are, I think you know, mercury combines with almost all metals to give the alloys known as amalgams. Iron and platinum do not have any tendency to give amalgam. That's why mercury is kept in iron containers because it won't combine. Notice, even gold combines with mercury to give amalgam, but iron and platinum do not. Option B and D are correct. The metals which are much more noble than gold and platinum and are insoluble in aqua is a fact. The element iridium and rhodium are very precious and they do not dissolve in aquarius. Yeah? In fact, there is a Telugu movie based on iridium. Okay. Ammonium dichromate on heating. When ammonium dichromate is heated, it is sometimes called chemical volcano. You must be knowing that it gives green color Cr2O3 and a nitrogen gas. Therefore, options A and B are correct. Try to write down that equation. That's important. The transition elements have greater tendency to form complexes because they have weakened d orbital, small size, higher nuclear charge, variable oxidation states. For this question, you must be knowing that A is a reason, B is a reason, C is a reason. The tendency to form complexes has nothing to do with the variable oxidation states. So, for 156, A, B and C are right. Now, similarly, if I look at this question, which of the following compounds have the oxidation number of metal as +1? They gave K3CuCN 4 times, potassium tetracyanocuprate complex where copper is +1. This is a brown ring complex, pentaaqua nitrosonium iron 1 sulfate. Here also iron is +1. And other options like HgCl2 and CuO are not correct because here it is +2, here copper is +2. Now we are looking at next question. This is select the compound where the oxidation number of metal is 0. You must know that in compounds formed by carbon monoxide and metal known as metal carbonyls, these are complexes, the metal will be in 0 oxidation state. Therefore, for this question, definitely the iron carbonyl Fe2CO 9 times and nickel tetracarbonyl both are having metal in 0 oxidation state. Which of the following compounds give color due to charge transfer phenomena? Generally, metal ions in complex compounds are colored because they have unpaired electrons and there will be DD transition. But if you are looking at potassium permanganate KMnO4, it has almost deep violet color, potassium dichromate orange color. Those colors are due to something called charge transfer phenomena because in KMnO4 manganese is +7, it has no unpaired electrons, no possibility of DD transition. Even in potassium dichromate, there is no possibility of DD transition. But they are giving different options. Cu2O, the iron pentaaqua nitrosonium sulfate complex, that is brown ring complex, and nickel dimethyl glyoxime complex. You know, nickel ions are tested by observing that bright red color complex formed by DMG. Therefore, nickel sulfate. If you look at these substances, you should notice that the copper to oxide, copper is not having any unpaired electron, no possibility of DD transition. In pentaqua nitrosonium iron 1 sulfate, also the color brown color, deep brown color, and in nickel dimethyl glyoxime complex, the bright red color are definitely due to something called charge transfer phenomena. They have nothing to do with the DD transition. Now I am looking at which of the following are not colored. Normally, in the ions where there are no unpaired electrons in the orbitals are not colored. If you know that clearly ZnSO4 has no unpaired electrons, it is D10 ion, hence ZnSO4 is not colored. Copper sulfate is beautifully blue colored. You know ferrous sulfate is a light green, blue-green color crystals. Can you find out what is the color of nickel sulfate? All these fellows ABC have unpaired D electrons in the orbitals, they are colored, only D is colorless. Now, when a mixture of NaCl K2Cr2O7 is heated with concentrated sulfuric acid, in fact, this process is a test to identify chloride ions. Any chloride salt on treatment with dichromate and H2SO4 reacts to give what is called chromyl chloride CrO2Cl2, which is a deep red color oily vapor with a very strong smell. In fact, you will do this in your laboratory and you can see it is a deep red color vapor. You get the vapor when passed through NaOH, chromyl chloride on passing through NaOH gives a yellow solution of sodium chromate, and if we add lead acetate to this, it will give a yellow precipitate of lead chromate. You will be getting deep red vapors of chromyl chloride CrO2Cl2. In organic chemistry also you have come across chromyl chloride in Ettard reaction, if you remember. This is a very important IIT mains model question. Now we are looking at next question. Which of the following pairs of elements have almost similar atomic radii? Generally, this is an interesting question that the 4D, 5D corresponding elements almost have similar atomic radii because of post-lanthanide contraction effect. So, obviously, zirconium, hafnium, niobium, tantalum, molybdenum, tungsten, etc. have similar atomic radii. Also, cobalt and nickel, they are the adjacent elements in 3D series. They also have surprisingly similar atomic radii. This is not due to post-lanthanide contraction effect. Only A and B have similar radii due to post-lanthanide contraction effect. But incidentally, C, cobalt and nickel also have same atomic radii. And these three A, B, C are answers. Okay. Now we are looking at questions which have single correct option. Here we go. On which factors the stability of oxidation states of lanthanide elements depends? The stability of the oxidation states of lanthanide elements depends on a combined effect of hydration enthalpy, ionization enthalpy, and also enthalpy of sublimation if you consider. So this is the combined effect of these factors decide whether a particular ion is formed. Usually lanthanide elements show a common oxidation state of +3. Europium can show +2, you know all that. Now we are looking at next question. Consider the following statements. Lanthanum hydroxide is the least basic among hydroxides of lanthanide. Zirconium +4 and hafnium +4 possess almost the same ionic radii. Ce +4 can act as an oxidizing agent. If you consider these statements, which one is right? Definitely you will be seeing that Zr +4 and hafnium +4 possess same ionic radii, and you know C +4, ceric ammonium nitrate, is a good oxidizing agent. Okay. Lanthanum hydroxide is least basic is wrong because across the lanthanide the size of the lanthanide ions are decreasing, and the bigger the lanthanide ion, the more basic is hydroxide. If you remember, down a group in alkali metals alkaline earth metals, as the size of ionic radius is increasing, basic nature of hydroxide increasing. The bigger the ion, the more basic is the hydroxide. Amongst lanthanides, lanthanum ion is the biggest, so its hydroxide is most basic. So statement 2 and 3 are correct. B option. Thank you. We will continue in another video.